Okay, welcome back. So we're going to talk about how to monitor and kill jobs. So the most common scenario here is that you're running your program and you've realized that it's not working properly. So instead of waiting for it to stop and get back to the Linux prompt, you can press Control-C, which terminates the program, gets you back to the prompt so you can edit your file, restart it, etc. What you may notice in some situations is that the program may not be responsive to Control-C. So another option is Control-Z as in zebra, and that will background the job. And the important thing to note here is that when the job gets backgrounded, it is assigned a job ID, which typically starts at 1. And this job is, while not running, it's kind of in a suspended state. So what I want to do is go ahead and kill that. And when I kill, I send a signal, and the number for the terminate signal is 9. So I specify that as the option. And then I do % the job ID. So here I'm specifying to send the terminate signal, or 9, to job ID 1. And now you'll notice that I get the feedback that that job has been killed. So this is particularly useful if, for example, you have backgrounded a job. So I'm running this program, redirecting standard output and standard error to a file. And the second ampersand here, remember, is to background. So this job is running in the background with job ID 1. In addition to the job ID, what's being displayed here, the 3089, is the process ID. Process IDs are somewhat random, and they tend to be a lot larger numbers than the job ID. So if I have decided that this program running in the background needs to be killed, one of the things I can do is kill it by job ID, of course, which we've seen before, and I will get the feedback that that's been killed. The other option is that the job can also be killed by the process ID. So I've restarted this. It is using job ID 1. That number got recycled. This time it is process ID 3228. So I can run the kill command, and instead of the % job ID, I can specify the process ID instead. So here again, I get the feedback that the process has been killed. Now, a common scenario is that I start up this program. I'm reminded about the job ID and the process ID, but minutes or hours later, I've decided that this needs to be killed. Maybe this information is no longer in my terminal. How do I figure out the job ID or process ID to do that? So I can use the jobs command to see which jobs I'm running, and it'll show on each line of output the job ID, in this case 1, that it's running, and the name of the command. So with this information, I could go ahead and kill it by either process ID or job ID. So again, I get the feedback that that has been killed. And if I run the jobs command, there's no output indicating that no jobs are running in the background. There are a few other options that you might want to consider using. If I'm running this Python program in the background, there is a option to use the pkill command. It also requires that you specify which signal to send. Again, the 9 is the terminate signal. And instead of taking some sort of numerical ID, it takes the name of a program. So this will kill any Python programs that you're running. So here you get the feedback that the program has been killed. So one thing to note here is that this will kill not only this Python program, but all of your Python programs. So if you were running multiple of them, you would want to be careful that you truly wanted to kill all of them. And in case you're wondering what happens if other people are running Python programs on this same computer, well, you only have permission to kill your own programs, so no, you can't kill other people's program either on purpose or by accident. The other option that you can potentially use as well is if I have this running in the background and I'm interested in seeing all of the processes that I'm running on this computer, I can use the PS command and specify that I'd like to display all of the processes that are running under my user ID. Here I get the feedback that I'm actually running 4 things. I'm running Python with process ID 5098. I'm running the PS command. It has its own process ID. The other 2 things you'll note is the SSHD. This is the daemon for SSH, which has allowed you to log in, and bash, which is your Linux shell. So we know that we can use the process ID and the kill command to kill things. So for example, if I want to kill this Python program, I could also get that information and retrieve the process ID using this command as well. So there I see the feedback that I was able to kill that program and it is no longer running. I will advise you that if you kill the SSH or bash process, you'll get kicked out of the system because either you will lose your communication link or your shell will be killed. So unless you have very special reason to do so, you probably won't want to kill the SSH or bash processes.